Well, I did a few circuitry and continuity tests on this 1990 Mercury Grand Marquis and found out that the problem with it was not because of mice and rodents gnawing on the wiring, which may have also included the fuel pump wiring, but that it was making perfect continuity from the relay point over all the way over to the fuel pump. So that meant I had to look elsewhere. The problem was that before this car was actually towed here, I decided to try to swap out this big cable, this big high power cable, to swap the one that came out of here and put it into my 1982 Mustang, which had a pretty badly corroded wire. And in the process, I had to disconnect all these little cables and wirings from the main battery point. And in the process, I disconnected the fuel pump connection, which was in the first place connected by a tiny little wire, which was no more, no less actually than 16, maybe 18 gauge. And it had a little connector on which looked like one of these, only smaller. And I thought it was supposed to be bigger because it's supposed to go on that post. But because it had that smaller connector, I'm thinking, well, it doesn't really go there because it obviously has to go somewhere else. Well, it just so turned out that the last guy who put that in there intended to wedge it between all those connectors in that point. So now it answered my question as to what that piece of wire was and why the car wouldn't even run. So now I've just got to install another piece of wiring with some thick 12 gauge wire with the proper size connection on it to those two yellow wires exposed out there, one of which is the fuel pump wire. I don't know what the other one was, but it connects with it in the same circuit to a mystery circuit that I don't know what it is, probably a fuel pump regulator. I'm not sure. But whatever it is, if I connect that up, it should run. Okay, I'm all set. Hope this battery holds out because it just came out of a car not so long ago. Now to go see if this Ford Panther's gonna run. I like these old Ford Panthers so that I hope I can keep this thing going just as long as I possibly can. I'll open the door just so that engine can get into this video. Foolish of me to sit on my keys before I pull them out. Let's see if this thing's actually gonna run after that little repair. That beeping sound always sounds whenever there's one of these bulbs that's burned out, probably the airbag again. Now to see if this thing's actually gonna run. Ooh! Wow! Now that is one thing that I almost find hard to believe. Now that this thing runs, see if we can give it on a test drive. That beeping's gonna drive me crazy. Well, got no kids in the way. And this thing still runs and drives like brand new, except the only reason it was taken off the road was because it couldn't pass the emissions test. It was running too rich. Oh, you got a lady and a dog, you gotta be careful. Hey. this thing's not registered or tagged either, so I can't go any further than where I'm about headed. But it's the first time I could actually take this thing all the way down to the mailbox on a reliable supply of gasoline. Well, at least that beeping stopped. That car may never get a second chance, but this is the furthest point that it can go without license plates. That thing is a beauty. Let's see if we got any mail. Yep. Well, pretty much the main mission for these unregistered cars. Hope this guy doesn't even have a problem. Now this Grand Marquis has a 5.0 liter V8. So it climbs this hill very well, without any problem at all. Well, at least that annoying beeping stopped. Oh boy. I want to be careful. Sometimes a neighbor walks her dogs around here. Well, there's my 1982 Mustang. I'm a little more proud of that car than I am of this Marquis.